Hi, welcome to Yellow Slate, your very own school search engine that helps you find the best schools for your kid based on various filters and parameters.
Today we have with us Mr. Raj, whose kid is studying in Sharanya Narayani International School, which is located in Bengaluru. To get to know more details about the school, let's have a conversation with. Hello, sir.
Hello.
To begin with, you have a
hmm
lot of great schools in Bengaluru, and why did you choose this school in particular? And how do you feel right now about this school?
Yeah. So, yeah, it came as a reference, but we went there with my son, who was 8 back then. He liked the environment. It's spread out. It's kind of secluded a bit away from the city. We've seen some schools around within the city, but it's getting too noisy. And also for him to switch from, because he was born and brought up there, for a culture from that to here, right? We didn't want to put him in a busy, school at that point. I mean, we want an environment where, less number of kids, more personal attention was the main goal. Once when we looked at the school and the environment, the facility that they have, the interest, the academic interest that they have, not just in the studies, but also in the curricular activities, the music and martial arts. And swimming. Swimming was his main thing, and he made sure the pool's all right. He tested the waters. But yeah, it's that was the main kicker, right? It's we went into it with a belief that our my colleagues' kids are, actually they're doing great and they have very good feedback, and rightly so. 1 year after now, he's in year 4 now. I think that still stands, right? I mean, we're really liking the school. There's personal attention. His growth is very visible. Questions that he's coming back to us, and the interactions that he's having. It's all worthwhile, right? It's looking that he seamlessly fit into this culture, right? That was one of the main worries that we had, and because it's an international school and we have people all across, he was able to relate and wasn't found to be an alien in that. So that was the main thing for us. Yes.
Got it. So, while you
hmm
shifted from foreign to India, I
Yeah.
think it requires a lot of personal care from the team and management,
Correct.
to make sure that the kid is adjusted. So, what kind of
Yes.
support you have received from this?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, initially when yeah, culture fit is his accent was one of the things as well, right? We made sure that I wouldn't say he has a thick Aussie accent yet at that time when he was 8 or just crossing to 9 years. But his rate of speech and his way of communicating, we want to make sure the teachers, the staff there is able to understand, and there is nothing lost in translation, if you will. So we made sure that that aspect is pretty clear, right? So we had an interaction with the teacher one-on-one with my son, so they were able to understand and communicate well, right? That was one main thing. And then the other thing is about culture fit, trying to adjust with different students on the ground. He was able to make one good friend, and I think he moved from US as well. So they were able to relate to those conversations. But that said, he's made friends with the folks who are local in India, and he kind of gelled in well. And teachers played a big part in that to accommodate and also understand, his wavelength and kind of match there, right? So it was initial, I think I would say 4 to 6 months time frame that he got, like, there was conscious effort to make sure that there is no miscoms, or that he aligns well with the school expectations and his expectations vice versa. But yeah, I mean, after 6 months or so, 4 to 6 months, we didn't even see any itch after that. It was pretty straightforward.
What do you think your kid enjoys the most about? Like, what is the one major aspect?
The one major aspect is as I said, music and swimming were the two things. He loves keyboard playing, and I think the school environment is such that it fosters his core skills, or the skills that he is aspiring to, right? The swimming coach there, she is very inclined, because when we moved here, he kind of finished most of the swimming styles. Butterfly and breaststroke, freestyle, and the swimming techniques, right? At his age, he was fine with that. And when the teacher saw that he's very inclined and was able to meet their expectations, he was sent to some competitions as well, where he was able to compete. So that is the teachers are really good there, especially, not from the academic, no, definitely from the academic, but also from the extracurricular, from sports department and the music and arts department. They're very supportive of him. And, he's kind of bringing that home sometimes, right? He learns something at school, brings it home, and, he shows his keyboard skills, that new song or, new thing he's learned, right? And I mean, I'm happy that he's able to build on his core skills or skills that he aspired to as to have his life skills. So the teachers and the school is very supportive of.
So when it comes to academics, I think IB curriculum requires a lot of project-based learning. So
Yes.
what kind of
Mm.
teaching methodology that you like about Sharanya Narayani in particular?
Yeah, that's great. Actually, there is a lot of not sitting there and reading the book, but I think it's more inquiry based, right? So he comes back from school, he say, okay, this is the unit of inquiry that I'm working now. These are now my teacher asked to have some discussions with you, with parents, and draft some points. So he is being enabled that way, to go research on some things, have discussions, open discussions about things, and document those findings, right? It's not one way. Actually, it's like there are his perceptions that when he talked to us, we discuss, we find out what's good, what's not, what's actually, that he has to work towards, right? So he's getting those tips and tricks. So it's a lot of inquiry based. That's the best part of it. He gets screen time, when he gets screen time, he gets on it and does some research. He's more on Canva and PowerPoint, slides and all that. There's a lot of practical activity as well, which is great because, the last, I think, couple of weeks back, we went on a farm visit and he was documenting everything about sustainability and all that, right? And the best part that I like is at the end of each unit of inquiry, there is a form that gets sent to us on to write as part of parent reflection, and that is the best part, right? So we sit together with him, we find out what he learned, we document, and we kind of assess, not really assess, but we're curious about how he, how much he has learned in that, and we document everything and send it back to school, right? So it is that's a very practical learning, and I like the fact that in IB curriculum, especially, in today's time and age with AI and all that, it's very easy to get knowledge, right? But the curiosity and being able to go research on certain things is what we need to embed that into our new future generations. And I think that's IB curriculum is better this time, better geared that way.
So as you're mentioning about AI in particular, so now that everyone is supposed to, blend with technology, keep themselves updating on daily basis. So what kind of encouragements does the school give to students to use the technology in the best way possible?
I think I would say they are not completely holding back, but they are holding back to some extent, which is in a good way, because AI it depends on how you use it, right? And if you get a homework and he sits on and asks these questions to AI, he gets ready-made answers, and that's not what we want to do it, right? So he isn't doing that, or teachers aren't encouraging, but they are very cautious about the technology, being technology agnostic, and being with the trends. So he does have some computer science time. So he spends some time there, comes back. So this is where the Canva and the PowerPoint and bringing in ideas onto paper play. But yeah, AI, they're a bit consciously keeping him away. I think at this tender age, it's good to, kind of put some, put some thought process in there, right? For the kids to really learn rather than getting ready-made answers, which in a way is the right thing to do from my perspective. And I think the school is right. School is also aligned in that.
If you have to be little critical and provide an honest feedback where you feel like there is a scope for improvement for this school, what would it be about?
Yeah. So one thing is, I feel somehow, when you have your kids and when you have certain skills, right? And, obviously they foster that, that's very great, but they get sent to some competitions, some inter-school competitions and all that. I think it's all good, but I wonder if the school is just ticking the box to take them to competition or really building, a competitive spirit in the individuals in the school to go get some medals, go get some wins, right? I understand winning is not it's part of the journey, but, I've seen my kid go into a few competitions. I don't get proper feedback. I inquire him and get the feedback from him, but to me, it looks like they're ticking the box because they have to take and they have to involve. They are involving, but are we really building that competitive spirit, the winning spirit within the individuals, right? So that's one thing. And also the technology aspect. Yep, AI, they're holding back, which is good, but also I think they would benefit to have a little bit more of, more aligned to technology, meaning more aligned to sit there and, get their hands dirty on certain tools and tricks that are available out there, right? Like I'm talking about Canva is one of them. There are methods in Canva where kids who have they're art conscious, right? My son is more art conscious. If you give him a paper and ask him to write, right? He writes, and suddenly he goes into some thought process and he draws a small picture, right? Someone's walking, so he draws a picture as a walking, right? So his thought process is that I would want pencil and paper is good, but what would come out of these individuals if you have them experience to this new technology? So have more classes where they can spend some time understanding or using these new tools. Be it with music or be it with art. I think we have to slowly adopt them to the trends that are available out there or the tools that are available out there that they can use and kind of hone on their skill, right? So those are the two aspects. Otherwise, attention to individuals is perfect. I'm overall happy with SNIS.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining and sharing some of the great insights about the school. I'm sure this will help for parents who are looking for best schools in Bangalore.